Okay. All right.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Die Hard Fans. This is our 10th episode. Our 10th episode. Finally, we got to 10, and we have 85 subscribers. Don't forget that when we get to 100, we're going to give something to one of our most consistent viewers. But before we start the show today, of course, I'm going to introduce guys. We have someone who is here for the first time. So I start with him. Ikena, you're welcome to the show. You're welcome, Die Hard
Yeah,
fans, for
yeah.
the very first time.
Thank you so much, guys, for inviting me. I hope to have a nice time. Today is going to be fun filled. So I have my guys Fuad, Andy, and way back. So let's do this.
All right,
Let's
okay,
do this.
nice to have you on the show. Okay, Andy Baba,
Yeah.
tell us something.
Yeah, thanks
Andy Baba,
guys once again for coming on the show today. Like I always say, just stay glued, expect a lot of things today. And once again, welcome Ike. It's
Yeah.
good seeing you again after how many years?
Yeah.
okay, thank you. Jose Junior.
Welcome everyone. It's good to see that what we started. When did we start? We're already in the 10th episode, so
Yeah.
that's good. And Ike, it's good to see your face again.
Yeah. Been a long time.
Are
Nothing has
you
changed.
have you got some vampire genes because your face hasn't changed since?
No. It's still this. I don't know. I think. Well, I don't know what to say.
I can add some muzzles.
Oh, are
Look at
No,
his
nothing. Just
biceps.
are you related to Pharrell Williams?
no. Nothing of that nature. Nothing. Wait,
All
what
right,
happened
guys.
to Pharaoh?
I
I
think
don't
he's
know.
money Liverpool. He's money Liverpool.
So for has got classes.
Liverpool.
He has got classes. Liverpool have winning. He's got classes. That's why he's not here tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead to the show, guys. We have people viewing us, and let's not waste time talking
All
about
right.
that. So well, let's go ahead. Yes, let's start with this the deadline day, the transfer deadline day. Yeah, I've put some things that are very the takes I feel like are big news from the transfer deadline.
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest took their total signings for the summer to 21. Let's start there. IK, let me start with you. IK, 21 signings from a newly promoted team. Do you think these players will gel together in time to give them a proper title fight, or do you think it's going to be a struggle and they might go down because of this?
Let me just make it. There are so many things to say about this Nottingham Forest, especially. But I'll just have to summarize the whole thing. I'm not saying what they are doing. The players they bought, I think they are good signings. But there's one thing to have players, another thing to have a team. You can see what Arteta was trying to do. We had the players, but we didn't have a team. Man U now, right now, does not have the team, but they have the players. Individually, they are good, but they are just beginning to gel. So bringing it back to Nottingham Forest, I think they have good players, but it's still going to take it. I give them throughout this season. I don't think they will be struggling kind of because they don't. It's difficult to have this cohesion between the team amongst them. So I don't think I'm not saying they are going to go down to relegation, but they will struggle. That's one thing I know for sure. It's not easy. Premier League, you need to have a team and that cohesion for you to get somewhere. That's the way
Yeah,
I see it.
because yeah. Because in the past, some teams have done this thing that Nottingham Forest did. If I remember, Aston Villa when they came immediately, also
I
Fulham.
think
Aston Villa
QPR.
survived. Yeah, QPR went down. Yeah, QPR went down straight. Aston Villa survived by a point. By a point. The
Yeah,
last minute, I think it was Jack Grealish that scored the last minute goal or something. Um, Fulham went back down.
Fulham went back
So
in.
so the trend is there that if you don't have it has disrupted the rhythm of the team. So how do you see this panning out for Nottingham Forest? Do you agree with IK?
Yeah, I think IK made most of the points I would have made. It's difficult to get 21. He basically bought a new squad to me because it was different, except goalkeeper. So I believe good players can find ways to gel. However, yeah, I just tend to go with IK. But I am not sure with what I've seen so far this season. I think they've really tried against teams on the lower half of the league. Um, what I don't know is with teams like Leicester and Aston Villa really struggling, they might just find a way to survive, like IK said. But I agree with IK.
Okay. Andy Baba Abuja. In the look at what Rilwan Aziz has said here. In the Cups last season, this
Yeah,
Nottingham Forest team, that's when I saw Jet Spence. This Nottingham Forest team, they played against Premier League teams and it was a battle. They were hard to beat. Things were difficult for Premier League teams that faced them. Arsenal, they knocked Arsenal out of the FA Cup. I can't remember which other team they knocked out, but they knocked out Premier League teams until they met somebody that knocked them out. Now, do you think it was necessary to do that, to buy 21 players? Any Baba Abuja?
Well, for me, 21 players is a whole lot, to be honest. Like, how do you start putting these players? Because from all I know, yeah, you just have to field 11 players and you've got 21 players. So, apart from having an impact on the rhythm of the team, it will also have an impact on imagine buying these players and then you're not playing all of them because you just have to start 11 players, right? So what happens to other people that you have bought now? What happened to those players that promoted them to Premier League? So I think it's unfair on those players that struggle to bring them back to Premiership. A lot of these players, you don't expect them to start now because you have 21 players now. How do you fit in all these guys? So for me, I think it's a little bit. Will I say the manager is under pressure now to be able to satisfy most of these players. So let's see how he does it.
All right. All right. For me, you make a good point here, Andy. For the manager, it's going to be an extremely difficult task. He
It's a
does not
difficult
even know
task
this.
there.
He does not even know these 21 players. He does not know these 21 players as much as he knows his team. You understand? Now he has 21 players that he does not even know. You get what I'm saying? He has 21 players that he does not even know, and then he has players that he knows. So, but when you spend money on players,
So
the management expects you to play those players. So it's going to
put those
be a
players,
long,
yeah.
long, to me, it's going to be a long season for them.
I think
If they can survive
there'll
this
be
season,
issues. Yeah, I think there'll
exactly.
be
If they can
issues.
survive
Both
this season, then it's going to end up being a good idea, a wisdom. But when you get relegated, everybody will point to that as the reason for being relegated.
yeah.
Hmm?
And like you rightly
Um,
said, it's been happening. There's a trend, yeah. When you bring in most players like this, you tend up relegating. So with that trend, with that pattern, yeah, we might just see this repeating itself again. But let's see, it's football. Anything can happen.
Okay. All right. For those in the backstages now, so we'll have to invite him to the show. Yeah. So let's just do that now. So I'll have to be doing the. So now, guys, Chelsea had a very very busy deadline day. Although I've said it earlier, although Chelsea fans did not agree with me, I've said it earlier and several times that Chelsea's team was not ready for the season, and the way they've gone and made these deadline day signings has proved it. Although some Chelsea fans were abusing me and saying that I'm not doing what I'm saying, but this thing going in last day and bringing three players showed prove my point. Olu, welcome yourself to the show and then continue that and give us your points on that. On Chelsea's
first of all, start
final
with the
day.
apology.
Hello, guys. Good evening. Good to be here. Yeah, I apologize for being late. Um,
Your pardon.
anyways, Chelsea signing three players on the last day of the transfer window doesn't necessarily mean that they didn't have a plan. I think things just didn't go as well as they wanted it to, and there were other cogs in the wheels. For instance, I'm getting a top striker. Classically now, the main top nines have already been bought, and they've struggled with actually players playing in that position. They've earmarked Aubameyang at least a month or thereabout ago, but because of Barca's problems with registering players and stuff, they couldn't get the exchange with Alonso done. But at least they got it done, and that's the most important thing. And I think even those last three signings they did have actually sorted out most of the problems that we've all recognized in the team. Getting Zakaria, a fantastic box to box player, would help filling the void left by Kante. Getting Abu, although he might not start till maybe late next month because of the fracture of his face, solves the goal problem. They have very potent goal threats. So I think, yeah, Chelsea has actually sorted out. Yes, it might have taken a bit, but they've spent a lot of money making sure that they've sorted out the problems they had in the past. So I'm thinking they'll have a better season moving on forward.
Okay, thank you for that. Yeah. So I have Anthony was the most expensive signing of the summer, but I have the full. I think I have the some information here for us.
Sorry, how much was Nunes? I keep asking, yeah.
Nunez wasn't up to. I think it was Nunez. When
Was
you add the add-on, when you add the add-ons, that the money is that much. When you add the
65,
add-on,
add-ons make it
yeah,
85.
yeah. So this is
So it's 65 actually, but add-ons
yeah.
make
So
it
it's
85.
I think I don't make it 100 or something like that. So this is
Yeah.
Anthony. Anthony is the most expensive player of the summer everywhere, or I think all over the window. But this is just Premier League. But I think all over the window, Anthony was most expensive, 86 million pounds. That win Nunez. So you can see that Man U have really spent a lot. Man U have three players in that list. Man U have always been a big spending side, and this summer has proved it. Andy Baba Abuja, this is your team. Do you think that these signings can take you guys to Champions League, or maybe bigger than that, to the title, or what do you expect this season? Seeing that you
Right.
guys have had a
So,
good summer.
well, let me just take out a few things Ikenna said earlier. He made mention that we have got the players, but we haven't got the team, and I agree with that. Although Anthony has played before with Martinez, but this is a different settings entirely because you're going to fit into some other players. However, there's a lot to still be done in that team. Anthony signing, Martinez, Malaysia, Ericsson will give us a bit of stability, and then we expect Man U to build from there. So let's see how we push on, and then see how what the season becomes. So finally, Anthony signing and Martinez signing, I think it's a big boost for us. And then of course Casemiro, we haven't got much to do because of course we are not in the Champions League. So how do we attract these players? The only way we can attract these players is by offering big sum. So I think that's why we got Casemiro. So I think he will be able to fill that CDM and DM position that we've been lacking in the past. So he's played with Fred before in Brazil. They played together. So I expect them to form that partnership. So if they've got that good partnership, then I can see Man U doing well. Anthony, to be honest, I've not really seen much of Anthony, but from the few matches I've seen, I think he's been doing well. So we expect him to give us that fluidity in those flanks. So fingers crossed.
Okay. I think I can see now. This first of all, let me this is the total signing by Premier League side this season. Yeah, extremely you can see the comparison there. I got it from Sky Sports. You can see from Bleacher Report, sorry. You can see the comparison there. The Premier League alone, the spending on the Premier League alone is almost as equal to that of the other top 5 leagues combined. We spoke about this some time ago about the probability of the Premier League becoming the NBA. Dr. Ake wasn't here on that show for that show, so I'll ask him, Dr. Ake, what do you think the Premier League are going to go? Do you think they will leave others behind?
Well, for the past I'll say 5 seasons now. For the past 5 seasons, Premier League has been slowly becoming I'll call it a bourgeois league per se. Like, let me explain. What I mean is that they are beginning to attract the best managers, the best players. It wasn't like that before. Before in the past, you have players, Messi, Ronaldo, Ibrahimovic, they all scattered everywhere amongst all the leagues, all the European league. But now, Premier League is beginning to gather all these things in just one league, and it's making the whole thing tougher and tougher and tougher. So I don't really know. Almost every player wants to play in the Premier League now. If you see, apart from very few Italian players, most players now, most coaches want to have a taste of the Premier League. So I really don't know where the future is. I don't know where what the future holds for Premier League now. I really, you guys can help me out, but it's becoming something unprecedented. I'm not. I can't see where the future is now. I think it's going to leave other leagues behind. As per when it comes to trophies, when it comes to winning Champions League and winning all those European leagues, in future it's going to leave other leagues behind because Madrid for now is the only team I know that is doing fairly well when it comes to other non-Premier League leagues. So you guys can just throw more light on it. But that's the way I see it, Chad. That's my opinion.
Okay. You make a very good point there that they will leave other things behind in terms of trophies because in terms of financially, they've already left others behind.
No,
Financially.
they've already left. Yeah.
Yeah. But in terms of trophies now, that could happen in the future. You understand what I'm saying? Jose Junior,
Yeah.
do you think we are going to, because in the past we've had some times, although La Liga has also done it as well, but I think we've had in more recent times where you see Premier League teams, 2 of them in final, 2 of them in Champions League final, 2 in Europa League final. We are constantly seeing at least almost every year now you are sure to see 2 English teams semi-final of Champions League. And last year there were 4 English teams, although none of them finally won it, but there were 4 English teams all over the European competition semi-finals, 2 in the Champions League, 1 in the Europa League. So this dominance, we spoke about it last time. Will it bring a rise to the European Super League?
I think what we are seeing already is similar to the European Super League. It's just a different name, and the different name is Premier League. Because what European Super League was trying to achieve, or what it would appear to be like, where some teams are completely above the rest, is what we are seeing. And the league, to me, from what you've just shown us, is above every other league. I really don't know how European Super League is going to work, and I don't think it's the solution. I don't think it's the solution. But the thing is, even the top clubs from other leagues like Real Madrid and Barcelona are struggling to catch up. Like you said, they've left other leagues behind in terms of money and even in trophies. Apart from that 5 years where Madrid won 4, and that's because they already accumulated the players over time. I don't think it's something they can replicate anymore. You get what I mean? And if you look at it, Madrid themselves, they are struggling, and that's why they are trying to get all these free signings or get the players very young and sell them or keep the very good ones. So, like I said, I don't really know where it's heading. The only way out is England will get saturated with billionaires. If you look at it now, I read somewhere that Aston Villa's owners, I think they are worth a combined total of 12 billion. Newcastle have owners that you can't even quantify their assets. So you start seeing billionaires wanting to replicate what we see in England and other countries, like what we're seeing in France now. We've seen in PSG, a rich owner has bought Nice, and it's going to happen in Italy as well. So if that happens, then other leagues will have the firepower to match Premier League. That's what I think.
Okay, so now we can see the top 10 biggest spenders of the window. You can see the first 5 there are all English teams. The first 5. Overall, there are 7 English teams in that top 10 list.
Yeah.
7 are English. Only 3 non-English teams. So I think that should say it all. Not Forest, a newly promoted team spending more than Barcelona and PSG and even Bayern Munich. Wolves spending more than every single Italian team. It's and these are less than meetable teams in England. So Folu, okay, go ahead, Josino, go ahead.
Yeah, when the European Super League came, or when we were talking about it, I opposed the idea. But with what I'm saying now, I think it actually makes a lot of sense. And me, I'm seeing a Champions League where they should make, the way World Cup is. It may sound biased, but the way World Cup is, where you have more European teams. I think the English teams are becoming way stronger and above other leagues. It will be very difficult for some very quality teams will not make the top 4. And if you're using just top 4 for them, the same way you're using top 4 for the other top, to be unfair. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I say that was why when the European Super League was starting.
Yeah.
When the European Super League was starting, that's why you see it was 6 English teams that were invited. You understand? Because you know that is where the attraction is. I said last time, an European Super League with that even one of the, at least without maybe I'm minus Spurs, any European Super League without any other of those top 5 is probably not an European Super League. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So so okay, let's just move on. We'll spend 20 minutes on this one. Let's move on because we have other things to talk about today. So okay, before we go, let's just do which team had the best window. Which team had the best window, guys? Let me start with Andy. Andy, which team had the best window?
Is it across the board or just Premiership?
Across board.
Difficult question, yeah, but I think I go with City, to be honest.
Okay.
And I give you my reason. Yeah.
Oh no. Let's move on. Sorry. Let's move on.
Yeah, that's fine.
That was yours.
City.
Okay. And Ikena?
Guy. For me, it's between. I should go for one, but I'm just thinking between Barcelona and City. But I think I'll still go for City.
All right. Folu?
Liverpool.
Why you laughing for me?
Because
I think Liverpool has the worst. They sold money.
I think Fuad just has it in for me. Anyways, I'm thinking probably Bayern or PSG, to be honest. But time will tell.
Okay. If you're in the comment section, please tell us who your best which team had the best transfer window. Yeah.
So Bayern because they got money.
Who do you think?
No, not just because of money. They got the lead. They got Gravenbach. They got the Mazwari guy. So I think they strengthened very well, and they didn't just get like bench players. They got quality guys that will come and improve the team. So yeah.
Okay.
Nero, who do you go for?
I'll go for Arsenal. It's not Bayern.
Why? I wanted to go for Arsenal, but I reason. Why did you say Arsenal, please?
Basically, I went for Arsenal because I think first of all, the one problem in last season, why would not make Champions League? Because we did not have a striker, a finisher, a goal scorer. You understand? We didn't have that, and then also we lacked a bit of creativity. So we got an extra creative player to play left back in Zinchenko, Jesus. Those two guys have taken us up a level, in my opinion. I don't think Haaland has taken Man City up a level. I think Man City they are still their level. But I think Arsenal have gone up a level by the signings that they made. They went up a level.
I beg to differ.
I think Haaland has taken Man City to a level beyond imagination. I think Alvarez has taken them to a higher level. So those two combined has taken them to a level you can imagine. They will work everything in that league.
I think what Haaland's bring.
To me, Haaland is the best player in the world at the moment. He's the most efficient.
Are you serious?
I'm confused
I'm serious.
because
I'm serious.
You said something about it being KDB. Now
He's
it's
the
Haaland.
most.
I
He's
used
the
to
most. He's the
I
most.
have a question.
You
No,
know,
guys
He's the
Vat
most.
don't
makes decision. That makes decision
He's the
based on
most.
weekly performances.
if
He's the
they
most.
check the action
He's
because
the
at least
most.
I know
He's the
everybody
most.
here were there when he said
No, I don't. I
KDB
don't. I
was
don't
the
want
best in the
to.
world.
I don't want to digress.
No, you
But
don't have to. It's not digression. It's the fact. Today is Haaland.
okay, okay, I
3 weeks
agree.
ago it
But
was
it's the
KDB.
most.
I'm
Okay,
getting
let me
it's
keep quiet.
getting out of hand.
Let me keep quiet.
Always no. Go ahead.
No, 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 no. You know we do this all the time. So let's don't worry. Let's
Football Point says Barcelona
Please
had the
go
best
ahead.
transfer
I'll stop
window.
pulling your legs. Please
Follow
go ahead.
closely by Man City. Follow, please. Let's allow people finish their statements, please. We already have done that. Thank you. Barcelona had the best transfer window, followed closely by Manchester City.
City.
That's Football Pundit says. Guys, we're still not getting your reactions. Please, who had the best transfer window? But we're going to move on now. You guys haven't spoken much. Let me read them. Osai Chooks. Osai Chooks says 278 M spent yet no competent midfielder and a very average looking squad. Imagine an injury to Sterling. But they have Aubameyang. Osai Chooks. I think he's
They
not happy
got
with those Chelsea
Kukurea.
signings.
They bought KDB. They got what's this guy's name? Fofana.
Exactly.
They actually got very good players. So
Um,
I think Osage is right.
Okay, let me read the one as it. One as it says, no one is talking about Chelsea, despite it's the same thing, and but basically I think it's talking about the same thing about are we saying that let me go with Folu, you said they are good signings, Abi, and Ole says he agrees.
yeah, fairly
So you
okay.
I
guys,
don't agree. I don't
Jose
agree.
Junior doesn't agree with me. He agrees with
okay,
Osai.
let Any Baba give us let Any Baba give us the reason why he doesn't agree, and then we'll move on. Any Baba, why
Well,
is Chelsea's not good enough?
Chelsea, for me this season, they haven't gotten what they wanted. When you look at the players they went for, Baka, permit me to use the word, bullied them and got some of the players. So they went for Aubameyang because, of course, we don't have an option now. For me, Sterling is not a massive improvement, in my opinion. Havertz, Mount, they've actually dropped. So for me, most of the signings Chelsea did were dime minute, and it was more or less like panic buys. So that's my opinion. I don't see Chelsea as a threat now, and that's my opinion. I don't see them as a threat, to be honest.
Sorry, wait. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, you have a very valid point in the fact that I like what you said when you said that Mount and Havertz have dropped a little bit. I agree with that 100%. But you can't deny the quality of a player like Koulibaly. You can't deny the quality of a player like Fofana. At least, maybe we don't know much about Koulibaly, but Fofana, we've seen him perform consistently in the Premier League before his injury. Dennis Zakaria, Fuad is here. We all know the way Fuad used to rate the guy. But having said that, on a more serious note, he is a very decent player, box to box, replacing Kante. Imagine Kante is back and they have all these players. I see them performing very well. Aubameyang always scores goals, so maybe you don't think of them as a threat, but I think in the next, say by the end of the month, say beginning of next month,
Yeah.
Chelsea will be looking more and more like a balanced team. Because if you said I didn't get their targets, very few clubs actually got all the targets they wanted. For
Yeah.
instance, Manchester United, you
Yeah.
guys were trying to check De Jong steadily, and the guy, you got bounced by Barca, you got bounced by the guy, you know. So if it's just like saying Man U didn't have a good transfer window because they didn't get their main target. And if you are talking about hijacking, Chelsea too had hijacked a lot of people. They hijacked Man City's bid for Kukurea.
Kukuraya.
They also tried
Cucurella.
to hijack you guys bid for De Jong. But I think we should.
Chelsea
We should
attack Cucurella. Abi?
yeah, they hijacked Kukurea from Man City.
Okay.
So I think we should not sleep on Chelsea being, because yes, they might struggle a bit for the next 1, 2, 3 matches. But I think, like the coach said, it was more of a mentality problem. Now getting a good box to box midfielder and Rhys James coming back, Abu playing as a nine. I think they would be a force to reckon with in the league.
Okay,
I have
thank
a
you.
random question. Random question, please. Random
Okay, go ahead,
question.
go ahead.
So I remember when we started the show, we did a top, I think top 6 or top 5.
Top
So
four.
the top 4, yeah. So
Transfer
the
window
transfer
have
window has
closed.
shut now.
Has it changed anything?
Now we know our top 4. Do you see any changes in your top 4? I know we're not going to change it on the show, but I'm just asking, yeah. Based
Absolutely.
on
Yes, so
Absolutely.
I'm changing my own self.
Absolutely.
City number
What's your
one,
top?
Haaland,
Ab-
highest goal scorer.
Absolutely.
Liverpool
City
fourth
win.
or
Let's
fifth.
move on, guys. Let's move on, guys.
Arsenal
Let me read
second.
some
let's move
comments and let's
on.
move on.
Let's
I
move
agree
on.
with
Let's
you guys.
move on. Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's move on. We know that you will change. Everybody will change. Even me, I will change. Let's move on. Don't worry. That show has passed. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's do the Stan also think I think everybody's good for most part good for Baka. I think Baka had the best window too, especially giving out tight. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, but that's a very tight. So they did it well. They were able to rig themselves out of a tight situation to get top quality players.
And
Ruben
they are
Aziz
getting
says
Alonso.
he's seen some Chelsea. Hey, my God. He's seen some Chelsea fans are more impressed by their players. And their players. Okay, why we just come on the show later about that will be later. Arsenal has had the best considering the quality of players they brought in for the amount spent.
In terms of money spent, I think Roma had a very solid window. We spent 7 million. We sold for 37 million. So no, we sold for 40 something. So our net spend was minus 37. And we're able to bring in players that improve our depth significantly. We brought in Dybala, we brought in Belotti, we brought in Celik, we brought in Matic. Villa doesn't matter. We're likely to bring in Sobaken free in January and Danazel Zagadou very soon on the free transfer. So doing that then we brought in Madi Kamara from Olympiacos. So doing that with a combined sum of £6.5 million is solid.
Is this Mourinho's second season?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he will
Okay.
win
This is
the league.
Mourinho's second season in Roma, right?
Yeah.
He will
Yes.
win the
Are
league,
you
right?
are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yes,
Guys,
it's a normal thing.
let's continue the show,
But
please.
Fuad, we need to see the video whenever you start crying that when you start crying that these players are not Mourinho players. We bought this, 37 this, 37 that. We are going to stop this video.
They are players that Jose Mourinho.
No,
Sorry,
stop.
Fuad.
They are players. They
I
are
wasn't
players
He
that.
has said it now. There are players that Jose Mourinho wants. He has said it now, so there's no argument. No
The
argument.
reason why I'm saying this is because they are top of the table. Once they drop a little bit, I trust my friend.
Exactly.
Can we wait till then? Can we wait till then?
Exactly.
We will because
The
we are
only thing I
here.
would say
God
is
keep us.
exactly this time
Okay,
last
so
year.
let's go for our prediction game now for the weekend. Yeah, so this is give me a second. So this is what you guys have predicted so far. Dr. IK is playing for Team World this weekend for this weekend fixtures. Yeah. So Dr. IK,
Yep.
man, you ask now. Your team, you don't have confidence in your team to win that game.
No, I actually the thing is that there are two things. It's been long with one Man U on their ground in Old Trafford. It's been a long time, and I'm just a little bit scared. See, I watched Man U Liverpool, and for me, the problem with Liverpool was just their midfield. They were playing Elliott, Milner, and Henderson, and Man U destroyed them. And Arsenal for now, that missing party, and Zichenko maybe that can come into the midfield. I'm finding it difficult to. I think that in fact
You
that's
don't
not my
trust
problem. Arsenal has a more organized team, but that midfield is going to be a problem for us. That's the way I'm seeing it.
You don't trust
Okay.
Lokonga.
Lokonga
Thank you for
doesn't
that.
have that experience to play that kind of high intensity match. That's what I feel. If it's El Neni, I think I'll prefer El Neni because of the experience, not because Lokonga for me is better than El Neni, just because of the experience. El Neni can
That
fit.
means El Neni is better now.
For me,
For me,
Lokonga is better.
That means El Neni is better.
let's not bet argument. I'm against that. I agree with what. But let us continue.
Okay.
Okay, you also said there'll be a shocker. You and Folu, you said there'll be a shocker at West Ham this week at Stamford Bridge this weekend. West Ham to beat Chelsea 2-0. Why? You don't expect a
Are you
man to score
asking
on the
for,
debut?
West Ham is an annoying team. That's the only reason. When you expect them to do badly, when you expect them to be beaten, that's when they start behaving like, they don't want to be. Look at how they dealt with Spurs. They're a very resilient team.
Yeah,
Um,
they shall won that Spurs match. They actually had the better
and
chances.
that's why. And now they're adding Lucas Paqueta to the solid team.
Yeah,
Now I
21
think,
million pounds.
see,
yeah,
for me, the reason why I went for West Ham to win Chelsea is because number one is a London derby, but it doesn't really matter. But it's a London derby. But the most important thing for me is that West Ham is struggling at the bottom of the table, and they are not supposed to be there. So
mm,
each match for them now will really count. It's going to be, and then Chelsea is not really, forget what they are signing for Fana, Koulibaly, and I watched most of their matches. They are not really organized at the back. Maybe their front can be more. I think their strongest part
yeah.
is the midfield.
And the reason why is that the players have not gelled easily.
Exactly.
They don't understand. Now, if you watch the goal Armstrong scored, yeah, both Koulibaly and Silva were going for the same ball. And the two of them are both leaders. Ideally, if they had a young defender, they would have told him, stay, go, that. So imagine Silva shouting at Koulibaly, Koulibaly shouting at Silva.
But
It might,
Silva should have the seniority in Chelsea now because
of
he's been there
course,
earlier.
no doubt, no doubt. But Koulibaly too has been a leader in a team like Napoli. So I'm not saying who should be the leader or not, but two of them are very, very good leaders. So it's not going to be easy for Thiago to be like, you do this, you do that. So I think that's one of the things that they need to sort out, and they need to do that soon. I hope Fofana can help with that. Imagine Fofana playing with Silva.
See,
Fantastic.
it's not for me. It's not
But Fofana, sorry, okay, sorry. But for Fofana
okay.
playing does not mean that Koulibaly and Chlesea will always play with Fofana. I know. Do you think who's
He's
going
going
to
to
go to
play.
the bench?
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. But don't forget, this season is different from the regular seasons we have. Come on, a 38-year-old guy playing every 3 days.
Yeah, I know he won't play every game. There's no doubt about it, but I think
Yeah.
he'll play most
Even
games.
same goes for Koulibaly.
Yeah.
He's not the Koulibaly of 2-3 years ago. You see a lot of games
Sorry,
where
there's something I
Carabao
need.
play.
There's something I need to bring in here very quick. It's not for me. It's not about the players. Whether they're all very good players.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the individual players. It has to do with, like you said earlier, gelling. They need to gel, and it
Mm.
doesn't take one or two or three or five matches to gel for you to start understanding how these players, their movement, and the whole thing. I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
If you watch your team now, Liverpool, you should understand what I mean. It's not about bringing. It's not even about bringing Cristiano Ronaldo in Chelsea. Or they need to learn how to gel, and it takes some time. It will take some time before they get there.
Mm.
So that's my own opinion about
No, if you bring Cristiano Ronaldo to Liverpool, I won't mind though. I'm just saying
So
it. I'm just saying. In case Club
Osai
and
Chuk
everybody's hearing. Yeah, I don't mind
Osai,
though.
Osai Chuk says Arsenal would roast United, and that aggressive Chihuahua. Sorry, aggressive
Chihuahua,
Chihuahua
Chihuahua.
Martinez. That's a bit of an insult. Sorry, Osai Chuk. That's a bit of an insult. Don't let my fans catch you.
But
I know the
yeah, I
deal.
think Arsenal. I think Arsenal is going to beat United. It's
I
not.
think
It's not. If we are looking at form, Arsenal has shown resilience. There's this difference. When Liverpool was starting, those runs, that was how you go to a tough place that you expected to lose, and you come up, and that's what they did against Fulham. Also did the same thing against who did they even play last?
Aston Villa.
Um,
Aston Villa.
Aston Villa.
Aston Villa don't want grief. Sorry for going to broken. Aston Villa did not want to they played, they did everything to avoid, but that chance that Martinelli scored, brilliant vision from Saka, and another wonderful finish from Martinelli.
dude,
9 times out of 10, he plays it to the other side of the net. So I think for me, it might not be like a straightforward ass whooping, but Arsenal will definitely win this match.
Jose Junior, you went for a Man U victory. So go, tell us why.
Yeah, I'll just remind you guys when we talked about United Liverpool first, and I told you guys that the only way United stood a chance in that game for a draw or a win is if Ten Hag goes to Varane and
No
Malaysia.
Maguire, yeah.
Now, with this game, if you look at United, the way they've been playing since he made those changes, they rarely concede chances. They hardly concede chances. So it's going to be very difficult for Arsenal to create.
Bro. Which teams have they
Hmm?
played? Which teams have they played? A
Okay.
See,
Liverpool without
Arsenal is going to
no,
create
relax.
chances.
A
What I
Liverpool
can't
Yes,
create
without
yes.
a
that.
Liverpool playing Elliot. A Liverpool playing Elliot and Milner. That's I'm talking about a 19-year-old and a 37-year-old geriatric and neonate. Then we are talking about playing Southampton. Then they played a team that was even ready to lose before the game started. And you
We
are
are going
saying,
to create
"Oh,
chances.
don't worry."
I'm sure of that one.
I might be wrong. I might be wrong. But tomorrow is their first real test. We didn't play. We didn't play. You were playing with a Salah who has lost form, and you thank God you are part of the people that have always said Firmino is useless, and played with your quote and unquote useless Firmino. So there was nobody really stressed them. Now they are facing a team that is hungry. They are facing Odegaard. Okay, Odegaard seems to be injured, but they are facing
I
a
think he'll be
Martinelli.
available.
Hopefully he is a Martinelli that is running into spaces, a Saka that will dribble you and will change position. You are going with a Jesus that can hold the ball, dribble, pass. Now is the real test. I'm not saying they are not good. You said they are good, fine, but I think this is the test to see how good they are because they
Okay.
never really they've not gotten. So you can't say that they've kept clean sheets against Leicester for crying out loud. Leicester is losing left, right, and center.
Sorry, let Jose Junior continue and say something. Jose Junior.
Yeah. I just feel like Arsenal will struggle. And
Who is this
me,
football?
the way Arsenal team is structured, I think one or two injuries to certain players, they become flat. So I feel Arsenal will struggle to create chances. And if Arsenal make the mistake of being careless in attacking, United have enough quality and pace in attack to punish them like they did Liverpool. If Anthony plays and beginner's luck works in his favor, if Ronaldo starts, to play Casemiro, it's going to be very difficult. So I don't see Arsenal winning that game. I'll be surprised if they win. A little bit
The only
surprised.
threat I see there is Sancho.
I
I've been
expect a
watching the
draw
guy. The guy is really playing well. That's the only threat I see
He's good
in
at
Man
finishing.
because United now he won't open his defense for you. He will sit back and then counter you with pace. So if
Yes, it
Arsenal
will
are
be a good
naive
match,
enough,
though. It will be a very good match to watch. Very interesting match for the neutral. Sorry, who is football pundits that wants us to draw?
I
Haters.
think I have an idea of who the person
It's
is.
Liverpool
still you.
Liverpool have only 2 wins in like 10 games against Everton away from
It's
home.
still
But
you.
she's got a point.
A draw.
I know.
Okay, so let's go to the Milan derby. Milan derby, Jose Junior, this is your specialty. The Milan derby in Serie A. You've given an away win to Inter Milan. Every other person has gone for a win or a draw. Jose Junior, what's going on?
What do you say? Milan derby.
What's your thinking behind them giving Inter the away win? Okay, same stadium, but like they are away. But what's your
Yeah,
thinking behind that?
I think both teams are almost evenly matched. But Milan in the last game, I think they struggled. Even in the game before that they won, I think they are struggling with goals.
Yep.
Yeah, Inter also lost, I think, if I'm correct. But it was against Lazio. I don't expect them losing 2 games back to back. And Inter is also a very solid side. So it's either a draw or, they won the game. I think they won this same fixture towards the end of last season. So I just think Inter will win the game.
Once in 20 years. Really?
I see. I don't know how people know these stats, but man,
I agree. Before this,
One thing about stats is it all ends one day.
Exactly.
Remember,
That's what I was saying.
Brighton, they haven't beaten Man U at Old Trafford, and then they did it. I
who?
think Brentford too. Brighton,
in good
they haven't
fashion
beaten
and
Old
sweet
Trafford,
style.
They did
and
it
Brentford
convincingly.
they beat us
I want
convincingly.
the stats. I
So
want the stats at the end.
No, but she's
it
got.
starts here.
I think she's got a point because these things when they go to certain stadiums, they have this mental block. United, if a serious United won't lose that game to Brentford or Brighton. Me, before this game, I felt West Ham were going to win. But with Zakaria now in Chelsea, it's going to be difficult for Chelsea to concede. The only problem is scoring.
Because of Zakaria.
So Zakaria,
Wonderful.
oh my God.
Wonderful.
Koulibaly is a very good defender, but they're still conceding.
Who? Koulibaly.
Wonderful.
Koulibaly is a very good defender, they're still conceding.
I'm
And
tired.
the problem with United, the problem
They've
with
lost
Chelsea,
Zakaria,
the
they've
problem with
blocked
Chelsea, I
us.
think most of people addressed it in the comment section. The problem with Chelsea is I don't think they made so much improvement from the team they had last season. They just replaced. You lost Christensen, you replaced it for Fana. You lost Rudiger, who is even better than Koulibaly, and you replaced it with Koulibaly.
True.
Then you got Cucurella. Yeah, I don't know how much
You
he's
sold
better
Yasani Alonso.
how much he's better than Chilwell. So, and then the only improvement I feel, or you give them more options, is Zakaria in the midfield. They don't have that. He's almost like Kante, but he's a bit different. And then Sterling to me, I think is better than Havertz, but they lack creativity. I've always said in Man to me he's an average player for years, and I think Havertz also. So they haven't made significant improvement up front. Aubameyang, I think he will struggle to score in Chelsea. I don't know.
Because of the number 9 shirt or the club.
Because they lack creativity.
Okay.
Yeah, they lack creativity. I don't know, let's see. But he will score.
I get what he's talking about. Anyways, watching the last 2-3 matches, they've not like. I think the only game they created maybe like 4 or 5 real chances was Spurs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, they've not really done anything significant.
Yeah, I think yes.
They struggled.
Okay, let's read this comment here. Against United at Old Trafford, Arsenal created chances. United's attempt to attack will open up spaces for Arsenal, and Lacazette is no longer leading the line. Okay, do you think that works?
Did you see the stats? Jesus has created goal scoring chances more than Ozil in the first 5 games. If you watch the way the guy plays, he may not be the one scoring the goals, but he knows how to open up the defense by his runs, his positioning, and everything. So when Fuad is saying Man U they're going to find difficult to create, that's a very big lie.
Okay.
We are going to watch it together. I'll remind you. You'll see we may not be able to finish it, but I'm sure we are going to create a lot of chances. That I'm sure.
All right.
Aziz really want to just ask a very pertinent question.
See the food for our defense. Also, I think Rashford is useless as a number 9. Easy food for our defense.
Everyone says, okay, so let's go to the comments. We can't talk about everything, so we'll not waste too much time. Why does the point? Our trouble with the match when key players are out injured.
That's the same as every team. There's no news in that. Liverpool is strong.
As a word of word here, he said Mount with 30 goals and assist last season average. You're a joker. Why? Wait till your Bruno gets. Who be this Zakaria? Zakaria was a player who was bought from German League to Juve last January. And he was on
Mönchengladbach.
Yeah, he hardly got game time.
This box-to-box player.
He got injured.
Yep.
He didn't really get game time, and then they've loaned him out maybe to save their salary cap or something to Chelsea.
No, not really. It's just not really lit up the Serie A as much as they would. Scored on his debut, anyways. In case you believe in all those things.
It's very that it goes and know what they are rated by. It does not start for anyway. It doesn't start for Switzerland, by the way. Xhaka and the Atalanta guy.
Yep.
No, the Atalanta. I've forgotten his name. They keep him on the bench. Those two guys. Barcelona have shot up their defense. Sorry, that's something. I thought you. Can I say
it's an easy fixture against Sevilla, who didn't do enough this transfer window to improve their squad. Perfect. That's why I think everybody's going for.
See, Barcelona, Sevilla in the past Barcelona. They always struggle against Sevilla. I don't know why. I don't know whether they're village people or I don't know what to call it. Unless this time around is going to change, but I know they always struggle against
Sevilla because Sevilla doesn't have anything in the squad. Like looking at paper thing, remove Luis Ocampos. I think the rest are just beats and Jordan. Not there's nothing to be afraid of, to be honest. Then Suzo, I think Barca should win easily. In fact, the one goal, I think I gave them one goal or something. I struggle maybe to end 3-0, to be honest. And with Lewandowski on fire, I'm expecting it to be a good spanking.
Okay.
Okay, so Osai Chuks is supporting you, Fuad. Chelsea has no creativity.
I
Matt is
love
useless as
him.
a number 10.
I
Yes,
love Osai Chooks.
yes. See, Umali Paul. Umali Paul. I don't think Matt is creative. You can see, I've always said, I don't believe. For me, I don't look at stats. For
But
me, Matt is not a creative.
Paul says otherwise now.
Yeah, Paul says otherwise. No. Paul says he has 30 goals and assists. Paul says he's not a useless player. Yeah, he's not a useless player. Me, I like him as a footballer. He's a good footballer, but he is not a creative player. He is not a creative player. Matt is number 10. The white balls are useless. The only creative hope are their wing backs. You're mean to Chelsea, man. You're mean. Okay. Okay, so Dr. Ike, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you for making those predictions for Team World. Let me just bring out what the sorry, I'm just my this thing is moving slowly. Let me just tell you what the scoring system looks like so that when we're doing the this thing next week, next Monday, we can see it. As you can see, it's 5 points for a correct score, 1 point for a correct result, 5 points for a correct score. That means you say it's 2-0 and it ends exactly 2-0 to the team that you said that will win. 1 point for a correct result. That means you said maybe Chelsea will win 2-0 and Chelsea won 1-0. You get 1 point for that. And 2 points for a correct result plus goal margin. That means maybe you said it will end 2-0 and then it ended 3-1. So that's 2 points. So that's how the scoring system works. So we can. Sorry, guys. I'm having this thing is slow for me. I don't know why. Is it out now?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so
You brought
is
it.
it?
It's back on now.
Which one is back on?
The
The short
predictions.
tournament.
The prediction, yeah. I don't see the point that everybody has. So that's the point. Olu has 14 points. Niron is carrying the house with 10 points, and Enibaba is the highest in the studio of people in the studio, 22 points. Also followed by Ose Junior, 21 points. But Team World, Team World are casting on you to keep their lead this weekend. They have 29 points. So they are leading by 7 points and they're counting on you to keep their lead. Hope you don't fuck them up. Okay, guys. Let me just read this last few comments and then we can progress on the show. I don't think we have more to talk about anymore anyway. But let me just read the last two comments.
We can talk about FPL as well. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going there. We're going there. Let us read the last comment. Just problem has been taking chances, not creation.
Yeah, he's got a point too, and that's well, he's going to come on the show. So, but before he comes, let me quickly say what that's what I've been
Lucas,
saying.
okay, Lucas Ocampos has left Sevilla to Ajax, which
Are you
limits their
serious?
creativity.
That's
Where
Yeah.
will their goals come from? That's a good transfer for Ajax, I think. I didn't even know that.
So the thing with Chelsea is you replace virtually all the defenders that left, but you lost Werner, you've lost Batshuayi,
Paul play on the show now.
you lost
Sorry,
you lost Werner, you lost Batshuayi, you lost Lukaku.
sorry, Batshuayi to win.
Galatasaray. You would have been to
Oh,
Nottingham Forest, but there was a delay because we were trying to sort out Aubameyang. So
oh.
Werner, Batshuayi,
They have Roger. Is it
Lukaku.
Boya?
Broya will not make you challenge. Broya is just for future. So you got Sterling. Sterling is a very, very good player, but Sterling will not be your main centre forward. You get you goals from other sides. So you need somebody to bring in those goals. You get. And Aubameyang, I
Aubameyang.
don't trust him. But let's see.
And I agree. Even the defenders that have replaced the ones that have gone, apart from Fofana, I'm still looking at if they're as good.
Yeah.
Rudiger was something
Yeah.
else. Rudiger was amazing. Even on his days, Christensen too was really
Of
unplayable.
course.
So I think, yeah. Let's see. Anyways, Alonso. Imagine Kukureya. I don't see him being as Alonso's free kicks, those late run-ins, finishing. Score. I don't think he can be as good. So, in that respect, I don't think they've replaced very well, but they've gotten good players.
Fair enough.
okay, guys, let's move on. let's move on to FPL, please. So just for you guys, we're going to present our manager of the month for our FPL tonight, and the person is already at the backstage waiting to come in on the show. First of all, let me post the table here. This is the table. Can you guys see it? I cannot say
Yeah, I
it.
think you should remove Emeka's comment first.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that.
Guy, I can't see me. Oh,
You sabi.
You know the anyway now.
oh my God. I don't mess
So, let me
up.
tell you now, guys. Can you see the table well?
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, Kai, man. See Paulo. God. Paul don't agree make a rest today. He won't allow me to rest. Okay, no problem.
You know,
Oh
all
my
those
God.
years when I really became a strong Chelsea fan, 2000 2005, 2006, when after 8 games, Charlton in the top table. Now, everything this thing remind me of.
Let
You
Paul
saw
not hear
Charlton,
you.
Charlton 7 wins, 2 draws. What's happening?
It's well, sure. It's not a marathon. It's not a what do you call it? It's a marathon. We'll get there.
I think Nero is frozen.
That's what people were saying against Leicester that time. It's not a marathon. Leicester was winning. It's not a marathon. Leicester was beating everybody.
Nero, okay, what happened?
I think Nero is frozen.
Maybe his internet or something.
I'm pretty impressed by how versatile the pundit is giving us up to date information. It's pretty impressive. Good
I think
stuff.
she
We
So who
appreciate
wants
it
to
so
go back?
much.
she'll come on the show one of these days. I think.
I would love that. Would love that. That would be so nice. I'm guessing the next thing is, yeah, we're already on FPL, right? And I think he wants to
What? Who
invite
is this football pundit? Does he have an YouTube channel?
I think she's got something online. I'm not sure if it's YouTube. I think it's
Oh,
Facebook.
okay.
I'm not sure, but yeah. So, but she'll definitely come online one of these days. And
Yes. You guys don't want to talk about Liverpool coming back, Abi. You people are just beefing our sources.
Liverpool coming
Bucci is
back.
talking. Bucci is yabbing everyone. I mean,
You people are beefing our sources, saying that we ended a match that was meant to end in 95 minutes. We ended it in 100 minutes.
guy, man, but for you guys have been lucky. Oh. Really, what's happening?
What's the luck, dear?
No, see that goal now. See the final goal. It was
Okay,
just
can you
pure
give
luck.
us your top four now that some window is over?
See, my top four is I don't know between. In fact, City. City is taking the league whether you like it or not.
All right.
City. I was thinking of Liverpool, but right now I don't even know
You
again.
know what? We don't even get top four, oh, Baba. No, we even first enter top four before you reason us now. We've gotten this guy. What do you rate him? Otto. So
I
no,
think
you
Otto.
continue. I'm asking for the question. You continue. IK. Who's your
Oh,
second?
okay. My top four: City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Spurs.
You smoking ganja?
Yeah,
You are not thinking of the amount that man you has spent. For reals,
I
I
don't.
think
I don't.
you would be
I
lucky
I
to
don't.
think
make.
Andy, I'm sorry, but that's the way
I
I
think
see
you'd
it.
be lucky
It's,
to
I
make
about,
think it's
top
gonna
it's
be
not by
It's
amount
not
of spent.
serious.
No,
So you do put
I think you'd be
Nottingham
lucky to
Forest up
make
there.
fourth.
I think it's gonna be City
Mhm.
narrowly edging over United, Arsenal coming third, and then fourth. No.
This
Arsenal
agenda.
coming third, and then Liverpool. No, Liverpool and Arsenal will be third or fourth.
No,
That's what I
you're not
think.
thinking of
What,
Spurs, eh?
what of
Spurs
Spurs?
will make
Spurs
it.
is going to finish above United.
Spurs will make
I
it.
can tell
Spurs
you.
will make it. See, let me tell you something. They have a good squad, but the Conte, if you play Conte the normal passing game, you don't allow him to get the ball. He will sit back till the end of 90 minutes. He won't come out. He won't allow you to enter his back. Do you understand? And that's what most teams do, and that's why they struggle like with teams like Brighton and even West Ham. That's what West Ham was doing to them. If you don't give them that space, if you sit back for them to counter them, Conte will struggle. But United is, to me, one of the best squad in England now.
They've always been the best forward. They've always had the best. They've always
It's
had
not,
the
it's not
best
it's
squad.
not about it's not about having that
This humility does not
players.
fit you.
We
Because
need that team.
in 2 months'
Yeah, but the
time,
team
when
is
you
there.
accept on
You
you'll
can
be
even
talking
see the
like all
spirit.
these Arsenal fans.
You can see the spirit. Dalo, Malaysia, Varane,
Yeah,
you can see the spirit, togetherness.
But
Then Casemiro and
Fuad,
Ronaldo.
I agree with you that it's a good squad. But on the flip side, they've not really been tested. They've not really been
that's it.
tested. Don't get too cocky. Premier League does not have joy. They've not really been tested.
I
Okay,
know. Did you
they played
when we
Southampton.
predicted United Liverpool? What was everybody's prediction?
Now Liverpool
I
was going
said
to
it
win.
here.
Good.
No, I said it here that Man U will win. I said it here. I was the only person that said it that
Oh yeah,
Man U
yeah. I
will
think
Liverpool.
Eddie
Yeah,
said it. He
but
said,
I told you that
"Hey,
the only way Man you can win is if you make those changes. If you look at the way
Yeah.
United,
yes, but see,
if you,
you are looking at it only from Man U side. Look at Liverpool's squad outside Bournemouth. Have we done anything reasonable? You keep
if
making it sound like
United,
Man U beating Liverpool. They beat the Liverpool of last year. Do you think
if
this Man U that is playing will beat the
You know,
Liverpool of last year?
it's going to come back, if United played, oh, she has a YouTube channel, so she just answered. If United played Liverpool the way they played Brighton and the way they played
Oh,
Brent,
nice. I like to know the
Brentford,
YouTube channel.
sorry, if United played Liverpool the way they played Brighton and the way they played Brentford, they would lose heavily. It would have been like last season. It would have been a whitewash. But
Yeah, with Maguire, I agree.
he
Anyway,
changed the approach and he brought in the better players. So you guys will see what
Sorry,
I'm saying tomorrow.
sorry guys, I'm very sorry. I went off a bit. I'm back. I'm back now.
Niger.
Yes. Okay. So let me add the person who won the show to the first month on the show. I've added him now. This is Paul Play. Everybody.
This big
Paul
head.
Play.
See this big head.
The champion. The champion.
You
Rotundo.
are the
I get your face.
champion.
I get
Champion
your
Paul Play.
face.
Don't worry. Just hold the position for me. I'm coming. Hold, I'm strong.
Paul, I'm sure you've been seeing all the comments and things that have been said about Chelsea. First, congratulations on winning our first manager of the month. And so what
Is
do you
that the
think?
only title you will celebrate this year?
What do you think about what has been said? What do you think about your transfers, first of all?
Okay, now this is the thing, eh? I want to start from the beginning because my problem with people's analysis is you people don't take into consideration a lot of things. No,
All
it's
right.
the truth. And that's why I'm always annoyed when people are saying this thing. First of all, we had a transfer ban up until the end of the season.
Which one of
We
my
couldn't
business?
approach any players.
Which
If I
one is
hear
my
that we
business?
couldn't approach any players, we had no director of football. So
Which one is my
Tuchel and
business?
Boli were the ones practically handling everything. Tuchel has been distracted. That's why in his last press conference after the Southampton loss, he said, "I can't wait for the transfer window to end."
I remember.
You are not thinking about these things. Everybody just see, oh, Chelsea is this, Chelsea is that. There are a lot of issues on the ground in that team. You understand?
But-
Secondly, we had areas that yes, I would have liked us to strengthen better. We needed a defensive midfielder because right now we can't count on Kante. If Kante is fully fit, Kante is like our Messi basically. If he's fit, bone, hardly anything beats Chelsea. Kante is balling. That's the fact.
Perfect
You
example.
understand exactly. Champions League final, he was man of the match. Once Kante is on form, no worry. It's almost certain Chelsea we had to lose games once he's on form.
Half of the pitch.
Basically. So our problem is that we are missing Kante. The whole issue about Chelsea not creating chances, I'm not saying Mount is extremely creative, no. But Mount does a lot. Mount does a lot for that attack. That is the truth about it. Secondly,
what do
we
you
are
think
playing
about a
Sterling in a
transfer?
position that I don't think is Sterling's best position. We are playing as a striker.
I have
Sterling
a
is better
question for
coming
Paul.
from wide.
What do you think about your
Yes.
transfer generally? Do you think you're going to gel and play well this season? What do you think about your transfer?
We will. I believe we will. I believe we will. I believe we
Paul,
will.
you're on the show. You're
We
on the
will
show
pick
now.
up.
Everybody's seeing you live. Everybody's seeing you now. Can I have your top four?
Top for this season.
You go say Chelsea.
Man City,
One.
Wait.
Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Arsenal.
Wait, where
This
are
one
you
where you
guys
agree
ending up in
Arsenal.
second? Are you guys hallucinating? Are you not seeing what is happening?
Okay, please, guys.
Forget
Sorry,
that
guys.
place.
Sorry, guys. Let's talk about FPL. FPL. Sorry, we're in the FPL
Yeah.
section now, please.
Mm.
Four play.
Yeah.
I want to post your team here now so that you can show
Okay.
us.
The guy
You can
Captain
show us.
Haaland finish.
You can tell us.
Captain Haaland. That's nothing else.
So
94.
four play.
Yeah.
This is your team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you
Mm.
tell us what's the? Sorry, guys. Let me remove that comment. So, four play. This is your team. So are you tell us your secret for this team? How did you end up with these 94 points? How was the journey?
No, Ike was almost spot on. Haaland was a very big plus in the whole thing. Because, in fact, funny enough, I wanted to change it at the last minute. Only for me to enter, and I saw that they had already started, it was already time up. And I wanted to
God, why
switch
did
it
you
to
change
Salah.
it? Why
You were
did you
lucky.
change it?
So you were lucky.
Why did you change it?
For this game week, I was lucky. I won't lie. I was lucky. Because I think it was Ojoni. Ojoni was actually leading me up until the Man U Leicester game. He was actually the one supposed to be the winner. And it was Diego
Okay.
Dalot. So, sir, thank you very much. You're a clean sheet.
Well,
That's what
we're
ends
good.
me,
We're
actually.
back.
So, that was basically it, actually.
Okay. One winning. Are you guys going to win against West Ham on the weekend?
We'll win. We are home. We'll win.
Okay. So back to FPL. Why are you captaining this weekend? Did you make any transfers to your team?
No, I've not made my changes yet. Actually, I'll do that tomorrow morning. But I'm bringing James back in because James is fit now, so I'm bringing him back in.
No, I'm talking about now.
Paul, if I were you, I wouldn't change anything in my team. You have a perfect team. Just play like
I'm not. I don't think I'm making any transfers.
James back in.
Yeah, don't make any
I'm
transfer.
bringing James back.
Not back the transfer.
Why are you giving the winner advice? I know
I was
supposed to give
about to
advice
say
now.
that. If you submit the advice, why you not win?
I'm his coach. I coach him FPL now. Just remove Dalot and put James. That's all. Remove Dalot, put James, Captain Haaland. That's all.
Please, Dr. Ike, we want to hear from the champion, not you. Please, we don't want your advice. We need champion advice.
Sorry, don't
advice.
Please, don't be angry.
Four play, please. Do you have anybody in mind to bring in this week for this weekend games?
No, actually no.
So you're not making transfers?
I'm not making any transfers.
You still trust Salah?
Okay, that's very good.
Can I just ask you, Paul?
I believe you will deliver.
I thought Greenwood is not registered. Why am I seeing Greenwood in your squad?
That's Greenwood of Leeds.
Oh, okay.
Leeds, yeah.
Those engineers are very funny. I also have some Greenwood. Okay, so that's who transfer. So in your mind now, for now, I know you're not set your team yet, but who do you have in mind to captain?
For now, I'm on Haaland. Haaland is hot property for now, so he basically stay him. But for now, it's still Haaland. For now,
I think I'm going to captain Haaland. I'm just going to leave it permanently on Haaland, and I think he will smash the record.
The last time you said it, the guy didn't even touch ball more than 2 times. Please, leave it for boys to reason. That was what you said. I left him on Haaland. Next thing.
Yeah, who do you want to captain?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, it's likely going to be Haaland. But I'm still thinking Haaland or Salah, one of the two of them, but most likely Haaland.
It's actually between Salah. My problem with Haaland is will he start? That's just the thing. Will he start?
With Haaland?
Yeah,
Haaland will start until the game doesn't score.
Haaland does not need to start to score a hat-trick. Don't worry. We'll do all right.
He probably will still.
Has scored 2 goals, don't forget. So
because I think Pep removed him after 60-something minutes now. I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
They took him off after 60-something minutes.
So I've said mine. Paul has said his. Olu, why are you capping? Haaland, right?
Haaland or Jesus?
Okay. Dr. Ike.
I thought about it. I'm going for Haaland, and there's no brainer.
Yes. Yes, you
Andy
thinking.
Baba.
Haaland.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Jose Junior.
Of course, Haaland. Of course.
So it's Haaland full sweep, clean sweep of Haaland in the studio. Okay. So another question for everybody in the studio. Among the new transfers, who do you plan on bringing in your team, Folu?
Nobody. None of them is good enough to improve my team.
Dr. Ike.
I don't. If you're taking the whole transfer window or just
The ones that were just added in the final day now, for the final.
Okay. No, none.
Aubameyang.
None.
Not playing till
Aubameyang, Aubameyang is 9 million.
Fofana.
9 million. Aubameyang is 9
resumed
million.
training.
I don't think he's playing.
He's not playing.
He
They
has
brought
not
his
resumed
place
training.
on Monday.
Yeah, so no, I'm not bringing in anyone. Follow, I want to ask a question.
Well, for this,
Can I ask a question? This EPL thing. Maybe
Go ahead.
I don't know. I'm reasoning selling Salah. Who can I replace him with?
Anthony.
I beg.
I think that came to my head was the bus stop in Lagos.
I beg.
Let me answer. Okay. Personally,
Yeah.
I would not say Salah. First of all, I'll tell you my one reason. I'll tell you one reason why. I will still answer the question you asked, but let me just.
Yeah.
First of all, Salah, what we say is his bad moment now, right?
Yeah.
That's what everybody's saying. In his bad moment, he's still getting points. Yes or no? He got 10 points last season.
9 goals. He didn't even make that thing is still paining me till now.
Yeah, that's only match. But he's been getting points against Fulham. He got an assist. He got 2 assists yesterday.
That's 30 million. You can buy someone that will give you the same points.
The point I'm making now is that he's in his bad moments now. If you sell Salah, you have to replace with someone of almost the same price. Because when Salah starts to hit it,
it becomes difficult to buy him.
You have to be able to get him back with just one transfer. You get what I'm saying?
The only player that fits that this.
Now answer my question. Who do you think who can replace Salah?
The only player that does.
So if I look at someone at almost the same price, I would say. Yeah, I won't go for KDB honestly. I would say Son.
Who?
That will make you. If you place Harry Kane, you would have to make 2 transfers to bring Salah in back because Harry Kane is a striker. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. True.
So me, I would say Son.
Son.
If you are going to sell, I wouldn't sell him, but I would go sell him. It has to be Son or De Bruyne. Basically,
Son has not done much this season.
Son has been exposed this season. He's already even
hasn't done much this season.
For me, I was thinking I don't mind replacing him with Sterling and saving the money in my bank. So when I need to bring him in, I already have the money in my bank. I can always bring him in. Because Sterling is giving me points. He's scoring 2 goals, 1 goal, and assist, and all those. Salah is just missing. I'm not selling Salah, but I'm just thinking about it, and that's what it's true.
Actually, true. Other than the Leeds game, I think Sterling has actually had points every game for Chelsea this season.
Yeah, I'm thinking about buying Sterling, but Sterling is 10 million, right?
Yeah, Salah is 13. You can save 3 and keep it somewhere.
But see, I made a very good point. If I give you my one, I'm going to replace. I gave a very good point, which is very bad. To me, that's a vital point. If Salah starts hitting it, you don't want to have that headache.
Because
Salah will go 2 goals, 1 goal, 2 goals, 1 goal, 1 goal, 2 goals.
Another option is you can buy Sterling, and then the next transfer you don't do anything, so you have one free transfer, or you have 2 free.
I've been saving it until.
Till if that's what you think.
Of course, that makes sense.
For me though, it's a no-brainer. I agree with him. Don't sell Salah. I've sold Salah. I had Salah and KGB. I don't get time. Sold Salah for.
Football Pundit gave us some suggestion. Nira, can you see it there?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. He said. One point he says, Fofana, if Fofana improves the squad, instead of keeping clean sheets, then I could consider him. 4.4 is a good defense, is a bargain.
No,
I
he
agree.
said
That's
talking
Is it
about
Saka?
Salah's replacements. Talking about
yeah.
Salah's
Also,
replacement.
okay. Salary KDB, Sterling, Diaz, Kulusevski.
I think Kulusevski is actually a better option than Son because he seems
Yeah,
to
it's
be
actually better than Son.
he seems
I
to
don't
be
know
on
what's
Are
wrong
you?
with
fire.
Son.
He seems to be on fire lately.
I think you guys are making your judgment based on form. Me personally, I still feel that there's some players that you especially see in that top maybe top 10 or top 15 overall
Top
points at the
five,
end of the
yep.
season, and Son is one of them. I
Yeah.
expect
Well,
Son at the end of the season will be one of the top 15 players at the end of the season. Do you get? So I'm thinking more long term.
okay.
So he said, Osai Echuk said, Big Daddy Kulu of Tottenham is the best replacement. So we've got our tips, a lot of tips. Noto Junior has left the show. I don't know where he is. So guys, thank you everybody for being on the show. Power play, you can send your account number to the platform and receive your monthly reward. It's gonna
Drop
be
your account number.
it's going to be
Oh,
3,000
just
naira for this.
hold it for me. I'm coming.
It's gonna be 3,000 naira for this month. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to you
Thank
for
you, thank you.
for winning the show. You are very lucky because you even won the overall the money league as well. You don't hammer this month to say you don't go see boys. See us now.
Hold tight to boys.
Congratulations, Paul. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Thank you.
okay, Paul. Okay, so Paul play. Just give a prediction on the games that were predicted today. The Arsenal Man, who's gonna win that match?
Draw.
Draw. Okay, you said you win West Ham. The Manchester Side derby, who's gonna win the game?
Liverpool. Certain.
Liverpool.
You
The-
don't
the-
abandon
the-
Lampard, though. See life.
Lampard na fraud. Fraud.
The Milan derby.
Milan derby.
Draw.
Draw. Okay. Lazio Napoli.
Lazio.
This guy, you're just
Um,
taking my. You're just saying all my predictions.
Rate Osimhen
Sevilla
again.
Barcelona.
Barca.
Baka.
All right.
Give
All right,
Baka.
that's a good one, guys. So any last word for the guys? Let me start with Paul play. Any last word for the guys for you for we're going now? We're going off.
Believe. Chelsea is coming. Believe. We are coming.
Okay. Now let's follow. Any last word?
Yeah, thank you guys for always turning up. Enjoy a wonderful weekend full of beautiful football. And see you guys on Monday.
Any last word?
Yeah, as I always say, thank you guys for joining us. We need more subscribers, so just invite your friends, even your enemies, and then enjoy the weekend, packed full of Premiership, and then Champions League is starting on Tuesday, so we have a
Yeah.
lot to look out for as well.
We'll talk
So
about
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah,
will be-
we're
Monday will
going to
be
discuss Champions League
explosive.
on the Monday show. So
yeah,
that's that. Dr. Ikena, last word.
Very quickly, thank you guys for inviting me. I had fun, and but I still want to quickly remind you guys that from now till December, it's all about football. The World Cup, Champions League, Europa League. We'll keep watching football. The schedule is going to be very tight. And then one last thing, I like to support people just like they are supporting us. As one of us that have a YouTube channel here, if a person can drop
Yeah,
the
so let me open it. I saw it. I'm going to open it. Yeah.
yeah, so I mean to give us a link so we can subscribe, share, and watch and all those things. So we all support each other. So the people that for the viewers, please subscribe, please like, please share. So that's the thing.
Thank you,
Thank you
Dr.
guys.
Thank you, Dr. Ike. Football
Football
pundit.
Pundit, please
We're
drop
going
your
to
link. I'd like to follow.
Football
I'd like
pundit.
to
I'm going to ask you to be a collaborator on our YouTube page so we can collaborate together and see how we can grow our pages together. Thank you very much for that information, Football Pundit. For me, for my last word for the show is yes, as the boys have said, Dr. Ike, Polu, Andy, guys, please subscribe to the page, and also don't just subscribe. Also, if you're on the show tonight, like it, please. Like I always see, we always have a lot of views or very few likes. Please like, and so that we can get the algorithm can take us to very many people who view the show. If you've been coming on the show, the guy likes of Emeka Yankole who came around, who was on the show, Buchi Lawrence, Bob Pondit, Osai Chooks, Rewan Aziz, Nwali Paul, just all the guys. Thank you guys. If Tanowuka, thank you everybody for being on the show.
My personal guys, I want to thank my personal friends like Dante. I haven't been I invited them, and some other guys that I'm not seeing here that came. So please like and share.
Guys, like, subscribe, and share, guys. Like 3 keywords: like, subscribe, and share. Thank you very much. And also, please put a notification on your YouTube so that you can be notified anytime the show is on. Thank you, guys. Have a lovely football weekend. I hope your team win, unless you are a United fan. Good night.
All right, take care.
All right, good night, guys.
Good night.